Hello and welcome to another installment of the Zionsville Football Fantasy Football League podcast. This week, brought to you as always by Sleeper. Sleeper, the only fantasy football app made for fans by fans. On this podcast, we take a look at the details going on in the league because we all know our commissioner won't. I'm here as always with my co-host as usual, Mr. RJ Wagner. RJ, how are you doing?
Eddie, how do you think I'm doing?
You're doing
How do you
horrible.
think I'm doing? My second round pick snapped his leg in half. My third round pick last Monday night lost his quarterback. I'm not doing well, Ted.
Well, that's all right because we've got a special guest today. You all know him. More importantly, you bing him. Monty Chester. Monty, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Ted. Thanks for having me on today. It's a privilege to be here.
That's awesome. Let's get rolling into our first segment. Why don't we start with the...
Yeah.
Let's go.
Who are you, Jack?
Bink up, baby. Put that bink hat on.
It's 10:30 somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Why don't we start up with RJ's matchup? Talk about that first. We've got Chase beating RJ 124-98. The usual Chase RJ matchup with a little twist there at the end. Poor Nick Chubb. But, Chase had TJ Hawkinson starting things off hot. I didn't think he was going to put J.K. Dobbins on the bench, but I think he hit optimize. RJ, how are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. It was a tough matchup. I was on and off if I should tell Chase to optimize his lineup because it got a little scary towards the Thursday night game and to Friday. Like, is he really going to take JK out? Never did it. And then, boom, he finally did. And then just to make matters worse, boom, picks up my backup right after my – but he might have done it before Nick Chubb broke his leg. I don't know. He's a Steelers fan. He works for the NFL. He has an inside scoop. Who knows?
Monty, what do you got to say about that?
He really broke the tight end curse with the TJ Hawkinson popping off. It was really bad momentum for RJ just going into the game. And I mean, Hawkinson put up 2 tutties, looked great. And then that kind of inspired better tight end play from the rest of the league. We got Kelsey back. He made it into pay dirt. My boy Mark Andrews, he binked up. So it was really nice to see the tight ends were back. Offense was kind of back as a whole. So it's different momentum from week 1.
Yeah, totally for Chase. Chase really turned it around. People were saying come. I was saying go. Next matchup, you, Mr. Shea, beaten down Trevor after he slandered you last week. Beat him 132-98. CMC kept binking. Trevor's Vikings-Bengals didn't do anything for him. How do you feel about shutting Trevor up after all that smack talk he was talking?
I mean, it feels good to be a big. Like, I woke up, I pissed excellence, and it was just a phenomenal Sunday. All the bets were hitting. We were binking left and right, and also happened to beat Trevor's ass in fantasy. It was great. But fuck Trevor the commish. On a better note though, we just really liked how the team looked. Everyone was hitting the end zone. CMC just delivered a great performance. Lamar turned it around. He had 6 fucking points week 1, and he looked sensational in week 2. He's going to parlay that into a good performance week 3 against the Colts. So we're excited. It feels good to be a bink. And yeah.
That is good. That was a good week. Trevor deserves to lose. And
I will say, Monty, the sports books, they've been on your team highly from the beginning. And
what can I say?
And they haven't gotten much love from the public, which is surprising to me because you look up and down your roster and it's stacked. You got a stacked roster.
We're operating at 30% capacity. We're still winning.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even have close to our firepower yet, and people are trying to say that we're not going to bink late in the season.
It's binkspirational. If I may.
Thank you. I don't know what to say. I just hope all you anti-binks a lot futures bettors, you're going to eat your words. Mark my bink.
I mean, I'm looking at the sports book right now. I got the sports book in my hand, and I see heavy action and
Heavy.
on Binkalot's unders and Binkalot's wearing the cum.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
it's
Come? They
yeah,
think this lowly of me?
even, yeah. But the thing is,
fuck?
I think this might even be more degrading. I don't think it's the team per se. I think it's your management they're thinking. But you already have the second most ads
Wow.
drops. You are on it. That Zach Moss pickup was fantastic. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't know,
I don't know what to
Shay.
say. I just remember someone at the draft happened to say, Monty, like, what always happens to you? Like, why don't you always draft well, but you don't ever finish? And someone said he's a horrible manager. I don't know. I don't know who he is.
I heard it was Kevin.
I think it's Kevin.
And
he
you know
was
what
saying a
else?
lot.
And
It was Kevin.
Kevin's been racist. Remember?
Yeah.
Rumor has it Kevin's
I know.
racist.
Cousins
I
with
don't want
Dana.
to start. I don't want to start rumors, but
Yep.
According to rumors, you're starting.
according to rumors,
Kevin has a problem with.
no. This
Well, why
goes
don't
years
we-
back. Years back. Hashtag. Start the hashtag.
Why don't we keep rolling? We're looking at the sitting pretty matchup. Me against Jack. Trevor was right about Jack, 50-50. Jack could not keep up. Only scored a league low 77. Only 3 players scoring double digits for him. I mean, as the manager of the winning team, I really thought Jack would bring something. I didn't think my team would bring it. But wow, just destroyed him. Cleared him by 50 points. Easy peasy. I think we all know that Jack is a pretender. And why don't we move on to the big matchup, the marquee matchup? Kevin versus Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. There's more stuff
Settle
to talk
down there.
about your matchup. Relax.
No,
Yeah, how do we feel about Saquon? How do you feel about that?
See, that's what I didn't want to talk about. Saquon,
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, trying to keep it under wraps. I want people to think my
it's getting a
team's
little-
coming to hit him.
It's
I'm
getting a
feeling
little nerve-wracking.
I'm feeling RB light, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like a beef and cheddar because I'm an RB light.
Yeah, it's getting a little scary out there for us early running back buyers in the draft because obviously with Nick Chubb dying, rest in peace, and then your 2 injuries.
Rest in peace.
I think with you, that second win was huge, obviously. And I know long-term stats, as Trevor pointed out in the group chat last night, don't point to that, being that only, what do you say, 1 2-0 winner has ever won, or 1 2-0 person to start the season has ever won the championship.
I think so.
Obviously, historically, that's not great. But if you really think about it, we have 4 people that are 1-1. That's half the league. So more than likely that happens often, more than 2-0. So they're gonna win more often because there's just more of them. But
the math is there. Yep.
Yeah, the math is there, right? But starting 2-0 is just huge, especially for hopefully avoiding the cum.
Ooh.
I mean, on that
I really
note,
hope no one's outside just listening to this.
There seems to be a problem with quarterbacks getting paid and then not performing. I don't know why they're all getting so comfortable. We had Burrow. He just secured a bag. He's been playing like dog shit. Not a great sign for Trevor. Don't really know what that team's going to look like the rest of the year. Not time to panic yet, but it's not looking great. Patty Mahomes, he just renegotiated his deal. Probably the worst 2-game stretch of his career. Not to say that he didn't play all right versus Jacksonville, but he's just not playing up to standard. He's got a very Tyreek-heavy team. A.J. Brown can't buy a target. So, I don't know. Get off my lawn. We'll see.
Get out of this league.
Ooh.
Get out of this league.
Marco,
but Teddy, how are you feeling about just having Derrick Henry?
The thing.
I'm not feeling too bad.
You think
Derrick feeling too bad about Derrick Henry?
If you're gonna have Derrick Henry got more carries, he's a easy 10 points at the floor. I don't have any problems with that.
I'm with you. As long as he gets 10, 12 points and stays healthy, by all means, I would take that over a 16, 18 guy that's going to get hurt and out for 4 to 5 weeks, or in my case, his whole life. Definitely, definitely worth the amount of points you might lose in a week to have the consistency that you have. I mean, Jack won't listen to this podcast, but if you're him, what do you do? I mean,
What
I
do you?
was I was
You just
speaking
hope.
with the commish last night on a late night call, and I was talking to him about what Jack should do with his team. I mean, if I'm him, I'm selling. I'm selling. I need to sell. I probably would have sold Tyreek early, like after week one. You need
Yard
to you
sale.
need to start you need to start getting like a lot of players. Like I would have went Patrick Mahomes, name, value, trade him. Tyreek, week one, value, trade him. Give me two like good running backs, a good receiver, and I'm good because you can string quarterbacks and be just fine. It's definitely a lot more work than just having Patrick Mahomes as your starting quarterback, but the value would be greater for how his team is set up. He won't listen to this, so I can speak on what I would do
I
with his
mean,
team.
yeah.
He's worthless. I hate him. I hate Jack.
All right, why don't we keep rolling through
Okay,
through
yep.
the matchups? We've got the commissioner entitled Fucker Walk matchup. Kevin against Kyle. It was a nail biter. Chris Olave did not come up big. It came up sad for Kyle. It's sad for everyone besides Kevin, really, to see him win. What do you guys think of their matchup?
I mean, I just hate to see that Olave didn't hit the fucking over. uh, yeah, I mean, Kevin is racist, circling back to what we said earlier. So it was tough to see the Confederacy win there, but the North will prevail. Or as Kevin likes to say, the cream will rise to the top. RJ, what were your
Yeah,
thoughts?
no, I definitely wish Olave went off a little bit more, but as I said in the group, I did vote for the Olave under just because
That
how
was
I saw
you?
the game going. I did. I was one
No
of two votes.
way.
I told him, I said in
Wow.
the group that I voted for the under solely because that's what I thought what was going to happen. I didn't see him getting 15 point whatever. I was shocked with how much volume, how little volume he got late and how much Michael Thomas got in the first half. And then it literally switched. How Olave was the only guy in the second half and Michael Thomas had like no targets. But yeah, if he just got a little bit more in the first, I the Saints didn't look too good. That whole game was ugly. I could barely watch it. And then on the other game, my running back died. So I'm sorry. I was gonna take a shot for every time I brought him up. So
Are you
cheers.
taking a shot now?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Well, all right. Why don't we keep things rolling to Kyle's stat of the week? This one. How you feeling, RJ?
I'm feeling it. What time is it?
It's 5:21
It's 5
UTC.
o'clock somewhere.
1:21 p.m.
So Kyle Whitlock's stat of the week brought to you by ASICS. This one was a bit of a controversial one, stirring up one league against the other half of the league. We've got Division I scoring was the big thing, where 3 out of the top 4 scorers are from Division I. Monty, as the person carrying Division II, how do you feel about this, where you're in such a weak division, but you're kind of the only shining star out of that?
I mean, we just had a stinky bink kind of week. We just started binking immediately from Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, he's got a little bit of an injury that he came up with. Apparently, he had severe cramps. It is that time of the month, but we think he'll be back for next week. Like I was saying, Lamar bounced back, huge for the fucking team. James Conner running like a stallion out there. And he was a late
He did.
acquisition for me. He looks like one of the top RBs out right now. He's going against a stout Dallas defense next week, but I'm not really worried because I think Christian McCaffrey will be able to compensate Thursday in an absolute fucking massacre, which I will touch on later. Zach Moss, I mean, I did pick him up and play him this week. You could say I put my fucking nutsack on the table. He ended up binking.
Truly.
88 yards, a touchdown. Didn't play DeAndre Swift, but who could have fucking foresaw that? I mean, what a performance, though. And yeah, we feel pretty strong about the team. A little bit worried about Chris Godwin. We saw him get a lot of utility last season, and in the preseason, RJ was pretty high on him. But we're not seeing any targets going his way. So if we can get that cleared up with Godwin, I think we feel good about our future Bink potential. But yeah, the rest of the league is fucked.
Yeah, and I also wanted to bring up, as I was looking further into this, Kyle is the number 2 scorer in the league, but he's in the come game, he's number 7.
Wow. I feel like that's happened a lot with Kyle in recent years. I feel like his overall defense,
he's got
like as a fantasy team, his fantasy defense just hasn't been there. I feel like
he really
every opponent has scored in the top 3 against him every single time. His points
Kyle's
against
usually got great D too.
Oh yeah, no, Kyle has excellent D, just fantasy D. It's just not. Yeah, he's got it. Like width, especially, it's there. Like you'll feel it.
I think later in the season he starts kicking.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, look, it's week 2, guys. Come on, like it's anyone's ball game, right? I mean, what Trevor say? 3-0-2 starters have won the championship. Like, I don't know about you. Jenny's baffled. She's not even worried, actually. She doesn't even care. She's like,
kicking back.
It's week 2, guys. What are we worried about? What are we worried about here? So,
I mean, speaking of D, I was just taking a look at Kevin's lineup. He doesn't even have D. There is no D in his roster.
You're kidding. In his current roster right now, he has no defense.
0 D.
Or no D. Let me see.
No D.
That's a big accusation.
Kissing Cousins.
I think he's going to try to win with no D.
I believe he literally has the Buccaneers defense in his starting line.
There's no D.
Well, with that, we'll move on. We touched on this before. Another segment, RJ's pole position. Wait a second. This poll this week brought to you by Mr. Binks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was
5-2
if Chris Olave was going to score enough to beat Kevin, and the results, negative. We were wrong. Chris Olave did not. Tough week for everyone except
wrong.
5 of 7 votes picked the over. 2 picked the under. I could only assume I was one of them. I have proof. I could show you on my phone. Give me 1 second. I could only assume that the other one was Kevin, right?
Probably, because I think everyone just wanted to see Kevin lose. Wow.
Yeah, no, I wanted him to see RW on the under. I wanted. Yeah, no, there are a couple people that I really want to beat. One of them is hopefully Chase one of these days. I would love to beat Chase.
Maybe next year.
But yeah, I always want to beat Kevin. Kevin's gotten to the point where he's just he didn't even watch the game last night. He responded late. The game was over already, and he's just over here working, and he's like, "Oh, what's the score? What did Chris Olave get? Oh, I won. Let me send a rude message."
PwC,
KPMG, some garbage consulting stuff.
Smaloit?
Like what? ABC? What fucking children? That's what he works with.
I think he did something with exploiting gentrification, something like that. I heard.
Yeah, I think it's
he's trying to actively redline cities to funnel tax dollars into high income and take money.
That's just messed up. Well, go moving on to our next segment is one brought to you by our special guest.
Nick
Monty, say if you want to introduce this.
What? Who said
coming at you
I'll
live
take
this
a
week.
shot.
We got our first rendition of Baby Got Bink, where I give you 3 picks of 3 different strengths. We got our 1 unit play, the single bet Baby Back Bink. We got our double play, the discount double bink, and I'm gonna hit you with the triple binky, too stinky. You lay 3 units on this play. All right. Drum roll, please, RJ. Our single bet bink of the wink. We have New England at the Jets game prop. Okay. Over 2.5 turnovers. We are seeing a dog shit offense out of Zach Wilson. And we think that this is going to be turnover city. If you watched the fucking Browns Steelers game last night, you know what a fucking turnover looks like. Trust me. And I don't think the Jets have it in them to go against a stout Bill Belichick New England defense and not walk away with 3 turnovers. So we're going to see turnovers left and right in this game. Mark my fucking words. Game over 2.5 turnovers at -135. Zach Wilson, two interceptions. Certainly.
Jack Wilson? Did I hear that correctly? Did you say Jack Wilson?
Yeah, jack me up, Wilson.
There we go.
Binky too stinky. All right. And drum roll, please, for your discount double bink. Bink. All right. The discount double bink this week is Giants at Niners CMC 2+ touchdowns. This is going to be an absolute massacre. Absolute massacre. He's getting into the end zone not once, not twice, but 3 times. All right. Discount double bink. You should be putting a premium on that. Maybe say 3+ touchdowns. We don't really know. No, we're sticking with 2. All right. Discount double bink at +265 odds. Get your fucking bets in. All right. And now the triple bink too stinky. We have. Thank you, RJ. We have bang New England -3 versus the Jets. Giants versus 49ers over 45 fucking points. People don't think
like
the Giants
that.
put up points. We know Saquon is down, but we think that this game is still going to be high-powered on the 49ers side, and the Giants will get just enough points to take us over the fucking over. Finishing that with the Dolphins -7 against Denver. The Dolphins, I mean, one of the most high-powered offenses in the league right now. Denver, kind of a disappointing-looking team. I know Russell tried to do something against the Commanders last week, but it's always good to bet against fucking Russell. The only good thing in his life is his wife. So you can get those parlayed together. Again, New England -3, Giants 49ers over, and the Dolphins -7 for +634 odds. Bink with me this week. Bink early, bink often.
Binky. I'm hearing that Florida is about to allow betting hopefully this week on the Hard Rock app only. But I'm hoping that, you know what, I might bink with you on that. I might get a little binky. I like those picks.
Bink up.
Well, all right, Monty, thanks for that amazing bink segment. We've got the week 3 preview, and Monty,
did someone say Nick Chubb?
I said Nick Chubb.
Yeah, we don't do it.
Now, Monty, if you don't know how this works, as the special guest, I'm going to introduce the matchup. RJ's going to give the line, and then you, as the guest, you're going to pick who's going to cover the spread, who's going to win for each matchup.
All righty. Let's do it.
Now, our first matchup, I think this is a big matchup. Kyle versus me. Who can get to 0-3? Who can get to 3-0? Big matchup.
There we go.
Early projection 99 to 110. Will Kyle get a letdown on Monday night again? He's got Devonta Smith playing. Can Teddy survive without Saquon and Aaron Jones? That's me. Big win for whichever. RJ, what's the line on this one?
Well, Ted, I got to get started because I actually got a sponsorship for the sports book, so I gotta plug them real quick. And now the official lines from the ZFFL Asics Sportsbook, brought to you by Asics Footwear. Asics, Where some see rain, you see confetti. Blast on, blast off with positive energy for body and mind in ASICS. New Gel Nimbus 24s ASICS. Sound mind, sound body. And now the line for your matchup with Kyle. I actually don't have it up right now. So if you give me a second, I'll pull it up. How about that? Sorry, I'm actually going to go on the fly with picking these lines. I told the commissioner last night, but I never wrote them down. And now that I'm feeling it a little bit with the old Nick Chubb. Oh, I'm a little off kilter. Hold on. What do we got? Week 3. What are we talking? You and Olave Garden, Murphy's Law. I'm seeing you minus. I don't know. Let's make it 5.5.
Wow.
5.5. You minus 5.5 at minus 120. Kyle plus 5.5 at minus 120. And money line, you minus, let's say, 170, and Kyle minus 105. So they're favored towards you to win the game.
Monty, who you got in that matchup?
This is a tough one. We have two really stout teams. Murphy's Law, very well-rounded. We got an Aaron Jones coming back after an injury. Probably going to have a big bounce back week if he's healthy. DK, he had a little bit of injury trouble. I'm just seeing a lot of potential injuries that might get, tweaked. Somebody might go back out of the game on that side, but you've had monstrous T. Higgins, who's been probably one of the only performers out of the Bengals. We also got Derek, who is going to have an absolutely certified great day, but a stout Cleveland defensive front. Jets defense against New England. I like Murphy's Law's team, but we're going to have to go with Olave Garden here +5 if we're getting those points, because Josh Allen can't stay down too long. Tony Pollard has been running the ball very, very well. We love Devontae. He's been having a good season. He's been getting most of the bulk of the targets out of the Philly wide receiving core. Olave had a disappointing performance, but it's the Olave Garden. He's going to bounce back, and we're going to take those 5 points. It's going to be a tight matchup. I think it's going to be an absolute battle. But just with the injuries on Murphy's Law and the potential firepower bounce backs in Olive Garden, we like Olave Garden.
Wow. And I'm just going to say, I don't have Zoom Plus, so we've only got a few minutes left, so we might want to speed this along a little bit. But our next matchup is Kevin at Jack, both at 1-1. Kevin's projected to win by 6, 121 to 115. Kevin's got a lot of running backs. Jack really only has 2 good players. RJ, what's this line?
Oh, I actually do see it. Kevin does not have a defense. I don't know
if Steelers defense on his bench.
No D. I told you, no D.
You're right. Kevin does have 0 D. The line right now of the ZFFFL ASICS Sportsbook, brought to you by ASICS Footwear, has Kissing Cousins at minus 2.5, minus 120 on each side, and we have Kevin at minus 130, Jack at minus 115. Monty, who do you got?
Bang, we're going to keep this one nice and short and sweet. Kissing Cousins is going to kiss those cousins all day, and we're going to be all over Jack's lawn. Kissing Cousins with the points.
Can I just bring this up real quick? Is Kevin doing like a thing on the nose with Kissing Cousins in reference to any league members? Has that been discussed?
I mean, I don't know anything about Kevin and kissing Kevin's cousins. Fucking
Does anyone
Kevin's
does
cousins,
anyone
Kevin's cousins
at least
telling
kiss
him,
the cousin here?
Kevin's cousins telling him to slap them on the ass while they're fucking them.
All right, then why don't we
I don't
keep
know.
rolling?
Yeah, let's just keep it going, huh?
We got Trevor versus Chase. Trevor's at 0-2. Chase is clawing back. He's got Dak. He's got CD. They're electric. Trevor's got the Vikings and the Bengals playing both LA teams. Should be pretty easy. Trevor needs to make a move. RJ, what's the line?
The book of ZFFFL, brought to you by Asics Footwear, actually loves Chase's wide receivers, but loves them just as much as Trevor's whole team. We got to pick them here. Minus 120. Who you got, Shay? Who you got?
In this pick 'em, I've beaten both of these teams. I do just want to clarify that. Superior utter domination of both of these teams. But we're going to see Marlboro Joe's Gymnasium smoking on that Chase pack and defeating chasing number 4 this week. We see a bounce back game out of Burrow. Hopefully that calf isn't too bad. That's kind of a determining factor here. But we're going to see probably a pretty high-powered offensive game against LA. We like that. The Alexander Madison and Justin Jefferson playing the Chargers. We could see some potential firepower there. So all systems go on Marlboro Joe.
Wow.
I will say we are now at 3 straight Monday night games of someone getting brutally injured. We have Nick Chubb dying. We have Aaron Rodgers dying. We have, literally going back to last year, DeMar Hamlin actually dying. The Bengals play on Monday night.
Ooh.
Trevor's team is primarily Bengals. I'm just saying, look out for that. Wow. Who knows? I'm just saying, history speaks.
And then real quick with our last matchup, we've got these two right here, Monty and RJ playing each other.
Bing, 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 bing.
RJ's projected to win early, 118 to 103. Can Monty keep the Bink alive? Can RJ shake that post-chase funk with Nick Chubb?
See, I actually see it. Monty winning 118 to 103, but the book actually has the largest spread ever on a game at Monty, minus 8.5. I know, Monty, you can't put your discretion on this game with me and you being involved in it. Neither of us can. But deep down, I mean, let's take a deep dive at it. We have a minute 15, and I got some running back action. You got, obviously, Christian McCaffrey. I got some old heads at wide receiver. You got some great young heads. It's going to be interesting with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin going at it. What do you think, Monty? We got a minute left.
I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight. I think the projections are really not paying as much honor to your team as they should, to be honest. Keenan Allen has looked like an absolute fucking monster this year. 2 touchdowns last week, and I could see another repeat performance of that against a weak Minnesota secondary. Justin Fields can't stay bad for too long. He's going to finally start using those legs once they fucking let him loose. So a lot of firepower here. A little bit worried they're giving me too many points. Teddy, what do you think is going to happen here? An unbiased third party's opinion.
I got the Bink opinion is what I got. I got Monty, no problem, taking care of business. And that's all the time we have. So as always, thanks for listening to Zionsville Football Fantasy Football Podcast. Monty, thanks for being here. Everyone, make sure to get those bets in for optimal vintage. Be sure to follow us on social at ZFFFLFFPod on all major platforms. Thanks for watching and listening. And as always, fuck you, Trevor. Thank you guys so much for that. That was great. We'll see you in a bit.